Have you seen this video over here yet? I'm gonna link it right here, because this video that you're watching now is about that, so watch that first. It's another awesome animation by Terminal Montage that I helped with. First, we did a big Pokemon Battle Royale with no legendaries, and then we did a legendary Battle Royale, all of them taking Pokedex entries into context, including out of context, because some of them can't be taken into context because they're just so ridiculous. So, after doing regular Pokemon and legendary Pokemon, what's the next thing we could do to up the stakes? Obviously, Baby Pokemon Battle Royale. So again, watch that first, link is also in the description, and then watch this. Alright, and by now you should have seen it. So, if you're new to the channel, hi. If you're into thinking too hard about Pokemon lore and science, I'm your guy. So, this Pokemon Battle Royale is set at the Pokemon Daycare, where highly competitive Pokemon players and tryhards spend their years biking in circles. We see various baby Pokemon doing their thing, including Pichu, shocking itself. Pichus are unable to properly control their electricity, so they often shock themselves, as most commonly seen in Super Smash Bros., where Pichu hurts itself with all of its electric type attacks, because it's a baby, it's too dumb to know better. Magby has magma-like blood and an internal body temperature of 1,100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 200 degrees cooler than magma. It's just a baby. It can't handle much more than that yet. It's using all that heat to dry the tears of its friend Bonsly, who isn't withering like the nearby Badoo. This is because Bonsly isn't actually a plant. It's a rock in the shape of a bonsai tree. It must be pretty sly to trick you. But why is it even crying? Well, because it's a baby. But actually, according to the Pokedex, it is actually adjusting its body's fluid levels by eliminating excess. Isn't that what crying does too? Basically, it hates having moisture in its body, so it sweats it out through its eyes, which makes it look like it's crying, because it's a baby Pokemon. But its friend Magby is helping it out. But the heat it's creating, it's wilting a nearby Badoo and the pond that Mantike is in. This upsets the group of Pokemon, so the angry Badoo do what Badoo do. According to its Pokedex, it lives alongside clear ponds, which is why it's here, and it is sensitive to changing temperature, which is why it wilts so easily. It scatters pollen that induces harsh sneezing and runny noses. So, it does that. It scatters said pollen in Magby's face. Notably, according to the Pokedex, for Magby, each and every time it inhales and exhales, hot embers dribble out of its mouth and nostrils. When flames drip from its nose, that means it has a cold. If a Magby is spouting yellow flames from its mouth, it is in good health. When it is fatigued, black smoke will be mixed with the flames. In other words, this poor thing has a runny nose and gets colds easily. The dumb baby. It's because it's a baby. All the baby Pokemon have something baby-like to them. It's really great. It also says, if Magby falls into a small enough pond, the whole thing will dry up. Which is also what inspired this whole bit. So the pollen makes Magby sneeze, and since its nose is always runny, it sneezes up a bunch of super hot flames and embers, which evaporate the pond, and the poor Badoo away. Upon witnessing this horrendous action, Jingling gets really sad and or scared and starts screaming, as babies do. Pokedex, it emits a high-frequency cry that people can't hear. Once it starts, it can cry for an awfully long time. It deafens foes by emitting high-frequency cries. It's like a dog whistle, except painful to everybody. Nobody likes this, besides Igglybuff, who sings along. Poorly, because it's still a baby. Azurill wants to hide, and does the only thing it really does. In Pokedex, Azurill spins its tail as if it were a lasso, then hurls it far. The momentum of the throw sends its body flying too. Using this unique action, one of these Pokemon managed to hurl itself a record 33 feet. And it does this to hurl itself into a bush to help muffle this sound a bit. This intense sound actually manages to wake up Munchlax, and it upsets Tyrogue, who then punches and knocks the absolute heck out of Jingling, who then bounces off of a wall and right into Igglybuff. And for those who remember the regular Pokemon Battle Royale, according to the Pokedex, once Igglybuff starts bouncing, it is impossible to stop. So it flies into space and knocks Cleffa off of a satellite. What was Cleffa doing there? Pokedex. It's believed to be a star reborn. For some reason, it loves Minior. On late nights illuminated by shooting stars, it gazes intently skyward, as if thinking of its home. This whole line of Pokemon come from space. Jingling is still bouncing around and smacks right into Elekid. Pokedex, Elekid stores electricity in its body. If it touches metal, it accidentally discharges all of its built-up electricity. This Pokemon begins swinging its arms in circles to recharge itself. It's like those crank batteries or a wind turbine. That wasn't a wind turbine the first thing I thought of. Meanwhile, Tyrogue is, quote, always bursting with energy, is famous for its eagerness to fight, and it will challenge anyone. It has a very strong, competitive spirit. It will slug any handy target without warning. So, it sees this arm flailing by Elekid as a challenge. It looks like an inexperienced fighter fighting. You know, like this. So it attacks. But then they get knocked away by Munchlax doing what Munchlax do. Quote, anything that looks edible, Munchlax will go on and swallow whole. It wolfs down its weight in food once a day. So it's scarfing down anything it can find until it bumps into Wynot. Wynot loves to eat sweet fruits. It cleverly picks fruits using its ear-like arms. They gather in fruit gardens, drawn by the fragrance. Also notably, Wynot are like punching bags. You hit them, they counter and hit back harder. So, it knocks Munchlax away. Insert why not joke, which was used quite often in the anime, because why not? Munchlax continues munching, and Mime Jr. is doing what it does. It habitually mimics foes. Munchlax comes across an egg. Eggs are pretty tasty. Whoops, it's Togepi. Togepi hide in their eggs all the time. But Pichu and Smoochum come to the rescue and save Togepi. Did you know that Smoochum used their lips to rub onto things? It's gross. And Togepi is dead. This cruel and unfazed Munchlax just wants to wolf down more food, so it goes to pick berries off of a berry bush and, eats Azuriel's tail ball. This is fine, though, for the Munchlax. According to the Pokedex, Azuriel's tail is filled to the brim with nutrients. But obviously this hurts Azuriel, so the very caring Happiny comes over to help heal it. But all Munchlax sees is its egg. Of course it's gotta eat it. Problem though, Happiny is a baby Pokemon. It's too young to actually lay eggs. But like a little girl playing with a baby doll, Happiny, quote, is too small to lay eggs yet. As a surrogate, it searches for round white stones. It carries an egg-shaped rock in imitation of Chansey. So Munchlax just ate a flippin' rock. That's not digestible. Welcome to Tummy Ache Town. Population not Bonsly or Munchlax anymore because they just exploded. Meanwhile, Tyrogue and Elekid are still fighting, and Pichu decides to help its electric-type cousin. Together, they summon forth a massive thunderstorm, and in response, Magby summons forth a massive volcano, and the lightning brings Riolu out of meditation. And Mime Jr. is now his stand. They beat up some Mons, and oh crap, what's that in the sky? Oh, it's Cleffa! Pokedex. It is believed to arrive riding on shooting stars. People believe that it came here on a meteor. Cleffa are often seen in places where shooting stars have fallen. That means it can survive this impact. The Honorable Riolu tries to warn Tyrogue about this, but
oh my god, he can't hear us, he's got AirPads in.
Tyrogue's design is based on Scholastic wrestling outfits, which include these ear protection pads, which is why it can't hear very well. Riolu easily takes out Cleffa, and now only has a single opponent. Wynot, who charges, but of course, can only counterattack. This leads to some anime shenanigans of constant attacking and counterattacking. Notably, Riolu is a baby Lucario, which is one of the most anime Pokemon there are. In Smash Bros., Lucario gets stronger the more damaged it is thanks to the power of Aura, which is what somewhat inspired this moment, and what led it to victory. But it turns out they were all just playing. It's cute! It's like Rugrats. And that explains all the overpowered Thunderstorm and Volcano and Ripped Mime Jr. and stuff. Imagination! Imagination aside, Riolu would win. Most Pokedex entries about baby Pokemon are just about how they suck. Pichu hurts itself, Magby gets colds, Badoo wilts, Tyrogue rushes into battles it has no chance of winning, Elekid loses its electricity when it just bumps into metal, and then, like, Togepi makes people happy. What kind of battle prowess is that? At least it's not as bad as Mantike. It's friendly, and it has a pattern on its back. Well, Wynot has high endurance, sure, but Riolu? Its Pokedex entries easily make it the strongest and best baby Pokemon by a long shot. It has the particular power of being able to see emotions such as joy and rage in the form of waves. Its body is little yet powerful. It can crest 3 mountains and cross 2 canyons in one night. It can crest what? So Riolu can climb up and down 3 mountains and cross 2 canyons in what, like 7 to 10 hours? Think of the endurance and strength on this thing. Think of the speed. Not to mention that being able to see the emotions of others is almost like a sort of light mind-reading ability. You can't know exactly what your opponent is thinking, but you know when they get enraged, which usually means they're just about to attack. It's a super useful ability, which is why Riolu is the winner of the Baby Pokemon Battle Royale. Oh, and look, it's me as a toon. I'm the daycare guy now. I'm so cute. Working on these Battle Royales with Jeremy, that's Terminal Montage, is super fun. Absolutely love doing it. So stay tuned for the next one, and be sure to go and subscribe to his channel too. His Something About series is absolute gold. Go do it. The dude's an animator. It sucks to be an animator on YouTube, but go give him support. Go! And thanks so much for watching. Never stop using your noggin.